Okay. Hello, guys. Welcome to day one of the masterclass on sales. Sorry for being 3 minutes behind schedule. Please, if at all you can hear me, kindly, drop it on the comment section that you can hear me. Please just drop it in the comment section that you can hear me. Actually, thank you very much. And by the way, a huge thumbs up to everyone that found time to join the masterclass on sales. You're going to you know get so much information from this particular section. Okay, thank you very much for letting me know that you can hear me. All right, so let's just use a very short time to see if we can invite other people to join us, because we have just roughly 18 people, and this is not a very good number. We need at least 100 people for this session to start fully. All right, so please just post it on your WhatsApp status and then let me know how it goes. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna read through the comments that have been dropped so far here, so I can see uh, Paloma Basin. Really sorry if I murder your name. Really sorry, actually. So I have here King Z valued code. All right, so I'll just be flashing you guys here on the screen, just to let you know that okay, I've seen you guys. All right. So I'm still waiting for Peter. Peter is going to be the one to handle the moderation. So I'm still waiting for him to join the call. So Kingsley, welcome. A favor, welcome. Ofofonono, Ben, welcome. Asaha Brown, welcome. Um, Deborah, welcome. Nibbles, Kigs, and more, welcome. Welcome. I'm just gonna just flash everybody that I see on this call. Onyema, welcome. Blessing, welcome. Uh, Aquamaniac, welcome. All right. So thank you very much. And for those who, responded that they could hear me, thank you very much too. Isaiah, welcome. So I would like to know where you're joining from. All right. So let me know where you're joining from. So just drop your location where you're joining in from, and then we can, just keep waiting for other persons to join, because we need at least 100 people to join this session before we can start fully. Okay. So I think Mr. Peter is here. Mr. Peter, can you hear me? Okay, so I'm going to invite Peter very soon. Peter is going to be the moderator. We're going to give some time, because we need a lot of people to be on this session. And just to make you super excited about what we are doing here, let me give you some sort of reason for why we are doing this. All right. So my name is David Orok. I'm the founder of No Code Africa. I'm also the founder of Dinefolio. I've been a technology entrepreneur for the past 10 years. I've been building things, shipping different products, and all of that. But one of the things that I have noticed so far is that when you build a particular product, right, your success is defined by the volume of sales that you can make for that particular product. So no matter how beautiful your product is, no matter how useful your product is, if you can't sell it to the exact target audience, it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense at all. So the number one thing whenever you have a product, right, is for you to make sales. And here in this case, you call it traction, right? So we created this particular event, the masterclass on sales, because we want to share our experience so far with selling to different people. Myself, I'm a mobile app developer. All right, I I'm also a marketer and salesperson, right? And then these particular skills have helped me so much because apart from just being able to build mobile applications and web applications, you need to know how to sell yourself, the different strategies, the way you should say it, how you should say it, and where should you say it at. Every single thing is very important. So we created this particular community because we want to teach many persons to become salespersons like us. We want you to be like super good at selling things. These things could include services, it could include products, it could include softwares, and just to make you like understand that we're not playing here. At least 10 persons will get a full employment after this particular masterclass. Not today's one, I mean, before the end of the masterclass. The masterclass spans across 5 days. Today is day one. We have it till day five. Okay. So if you put in so much of energy and show a lot of promise in this masterclass, you stand a chance of getting hired. And then apart from just getting hired, a lot of persons are going to make money from this masterclass because we're going to give you products, and then we're going to give you a product, probably products actually, and then you'll be given 48 hours to make sales. And then after 48 hours, you are entitled to, like, let's say you can secure one sale, you should be able to secure a sale within 48 hours. You can walk home with at least 160,000 naira. No kidding, really. All right, so this is basically available to as many persons as possible. So if we have like 200 people from the masterclass that decide to participate in helping sell the tech product, right, then you can make up to 106,000 naira before the end of this masterclass session. So before we continue, I'm going to just introduce you guys to Peter. Peter, yo, Mr. Peter, I'm going to bring you up on the live stream now. Are you there? Okay, because I think I've seen your video freeze. Hello, Peter, can you hear me? Lazarus, are you in a better place now? I believe you were. Hello, Peter, can you hear me? So Peter is not here. Okay, let me take.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me basically. All right. So, all right. So Peter, you are definitely going to be our our moderator as planned. So let me know when you're ready to take over from me while I prep myself to make my presentation.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready to take over from you. Thank you so
Okay. So
much,
are you
Mr.
ready?
David, for that wonderful introduction. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much too.
I'm right
Thank
with
you.
you. Okay,
All
let's get
right.
started. Good evening, everybody. Sorry you cannot see my face for now. I'm going to be a ghost, but a familiar one.
No
So
problems.
tonight we just want to do introduction to the master class. You're going to learn a lot from Mr. David. Hopefully, you stick with us to the end of this master class because just as he has said, we want you to be able to walk away not just with the right knowledge to learn how to make sales, but for you to make money from this free master class. Normally, when you hear something is free, you might want to underrate the resources and the knowledge you might gain from the class. Personally, I don't believe that people don't take free classes serious. It all depends on who you are as a person. So I believe you want to walk away from this master class, not just being equipped with the right knowledge to learn how to sell, but you walk away with at least something in your pocket as well. And Mr. David has made that very clear. So it's going to be very simple. Mr. David is going to make his presentation. I want everybody to pay attention. Then at the end of this master class, at the end of today's session, we're going to take questions. So once it's time for your for questions, I'm going to let you know. But right now, just sit back, relax, attend the class, and then also for the last time, if you know you have anybody you want to share this masterclass with, this is the right time for you to do that while we wait for Mr. David to start. Go back and invite your friends. You can share the direct streaming link to your WhatsApp status to invite everybody that's supposed to be here but is not here right now. Send them the link. Tell them to join the class because we're about to start. Mr. David, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Actually, I'm here. We don't have. We need more people to join this class actually, because we need more people. So guys, the very first task you have is go on your Facebook, go on your WhatsApp status, and just paste the link to this particular YouTube live. Just paste it on your WhatsApp status so we can get a lot of people to participate here. We have, I think, above 400, almost 500 people in the WhatsApp group, right? But then we have just less than 100 on the call right now. So we need more persons to join this call, like real quick. We need more persons to join, right? So just share it on your WhatsApp status. I want to do that right now. And I'm trying to do that on my own WhatsApp status now. All right. So just contribute by uh you know spreading the word, right? You just need to post, like, share the link on your WhatsApp status and say we are live, something like that. We are live, and maybe join us. Join us now. That's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, so just that. That way we can have a good number of people joining us. I'm gonna start like real quick. Okay. So,
Okay.
Mr. Alfred, are you like available to say something real quick? I see you're enjoying like a nice ice cream there.
Let's go.
Okay.
Hi guys. So welcome to my YouTube channel.
Okay, so I've just taken him off. All right, so Mr. Alfred Lazarus will be handling a session, not today. I'm just going to like handle the session today while Peter helps me moderate. Okay, so just give me. I think we're already like 15 minutes in, so we're gonna start like real quick. Let me set up my presentation now. So share my screen. Okay. Slides. Okay. Okay, so I've basically like uploaded my file right now, so it's still loading. While that is going on, I think I'll just use the time to, continue spreading pleasantries to everyone that has joined. So right now, let me go back here. I can see that we have. Let me go back to where we had that. So I've seen people joining from. 1 second. Uh, so okay, I think I'll start from here. All right, so Josephine, welcome. D, welcome. Emmanuel, welcome. Ifeanyi, welcome. Okay, Emmanuel again. Patience, Lawal, all right. Victor, Miracle, Twee is here. Nibbles, Cake and More. Okay, so most persons are joining from. Okay, here I see Lagos, I see Uyo, Port Harcourt, Makodi, Abuja, Duikiti, Eket, Lagos. We have a lot of people joining from different places: Akure, Akwa Ibom, Ogun State, Port Harcourt, Lagos, Oka, Port Harcourt again, Abuja, Uyo, Lagos. We have a lot of people joining from different places. So thank you very much, guys, for joining. I'm going to begin my presentation real quick. All right, Peter, I'm going to take you off the stream. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, welcome to Masterclass on Sales. My name is David Rock. I'm the founder of No Code Africa. I'm also the founder of Dine Folio. All right, so this particular night, we're going to be focusing on how to sell anything to anyone in 2 minutes. Anyways, the reason for that particular catch was because we wanted you to get attracted to what we're doing here. All right. We're going to go through the different processes that has to do with sales, where sales actually starts. It's going to be more like an introduction, but a very well detailed introduction to, sales. So I'm going to push out my slide. Okay. Please let me know if you can see the slide properly. All right. So we have here how to sell anything to anyone in 2 minutes. Basically, the psychology of selling, the stories of legends, the tactics that work. So I'm going to go through the slides. And as I go through the slides, I will be talking about the different concepts that are buried inside each of these slides. Okay. All right. So the very first thing we're going to talk about right now is why are we doing this? Now, if the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. All right. So why are we doing this? Why are we conducting a free masterclass on sales? Why are we doing this as an organization, as a group of individuals? All right. Why are we doing this? So we are doing this because we want to build a community of sales experts. All right. Because one of the key skills that is needed in almost every sector of life is sales. So you are in real estate. One of the things you really need to have as a skill is sales. You are in software development. You build mobile applications, web application. One of the best things that you should have, as one of the best skills that you should have, is sales. All right. So even when you are more of maybe let's say an engineer, a traditional engineer, maybe working in the oil and gas and all of that, for you to get an employment into a new job, or even continue maintaining your present position in your engineering company, you need to be great at sales. Why? Because let's say you're already employed. All right. To be able to move from one particular professional role to another role, by virtue of being promoted, you need to be able to sell yourself to the organization that, okay, see, the present position that I'm currently occupying in the company is no longer enough for me to, push the different things that I have been doing in the company. So I want a better role, and this is why I need a better role. So you have to sell it to them. Let's say you get into an interview. You don't have a job yet, but then you have a skill, you have a degree, you finished your program in the university, so you need a skill. You need to you need a job, so you need to first of all be able to convince your potential employer that you are the best person for the role. Now, sometimes it's not usually the person with the best skills, all right, the best required skill, all right, because we have like a primary skill that the company needs. Let's say you want to work in the oil and gas, for instance, so you need an engineering degree, except you're working in management where you need degrees in economics and others, right? So, but then if at all you're working directly in the engineering field, you need an engineering degree. But apart from having an engineering degree, you need the skill that has to do with sales. You need to be able to like sell yourself to the interviewer. Let the person know that, okay, this is going to be my best hire for the year. Once I hire this particular individual, there's going to be like a complete shift in the company for us for a very long time, because this guy is loaded, this lady is loaded, and the benefits of employing this particular person is actually very massive. So they get to employ you. All right. So why I'm saying this is because the sales, sales skills is actually very important, and it cuts through different areas of life, right? Even when you want to, like, let's say, ask a girl out, right? You need to sell yourself. You need to let the girl understand that you are the best thing to happen to her in her entire life and all of that. So sales is required in every single point of life. Even Jesus, for instance, all right, when he came, he had to use different techniques to sell the idea of salvation to you, all right, to all of us, to every single person that is a Christian, right? So now he had to, use different techniques. He used techniques like miracles. He had to convince you that, okay, see, this is it. I've got the power. I have the sympathy for human beings. And then from there, several persons ended up believing in Jesus Christ. So he had to sell himself, right? And then we have different examples that we're going to go through in this particular session. So let's go to the next thing. During the weekend, I did post. I didn't make a post on the group. I asked that you should try and see the movie called Wolf of Wall Street. All right. Before I even continue, right, one of the contributions that you can do for us for providing this particular free masterclass is, first of all, to appreciate the partners that we have that facilitates this particular masterclass, and that's No Code Africa. So what I would ask of you is something very simple. So since you're already here, we can as well do it at once. So please just hit on the subscribe button in this YouTube channel. You see the subscribe button, and you can just like hit to subscribe to the channel. This is one of the smallest supports that we ask of you. So just hit on the subscribe button and subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also like the video as well. Thank you very much. All right. So in the movie that I recommended over the weekend, which is The Wolf of Wall Street, it's one of the best movies that I have actually seen in a long time, right? So I've seen the movie, like I think it's up to like 5 years since I first saw the movie, and every single time that I rewatch the movie, it always makes me glow with this very powerful sales passion, right? Because the very energy that Jordan Belfort in the movie, like the energy he uses is like very, very amazing, like super amazing. All right. So one of the things that he did in the movie was train people like what we're doing right now. All right. So he actually went he left his job. All right, he was working in a particular organization where they were selling stocks to people. So it was more like a stockbroker. All right, so he worked there for a long time, and then the of course, as a stockbroker, you make money from commissions from the sales that you make. And then in the company he worked at, the commissions were really, really small. All right. So at some point, he now discovered that he doesn't want to work there anymore. He wants to start up his own company. And then, well, he was fraudulent. What we are teaching here is not in any way to encourage you to be fraudulent. But then there are lots of things that can be learned from the movie The Wolf of Wall Street. And one of the things is this: he was super passionate about getting money. All right, he was super passionate about getting money. He was super passionate about selling. And then he understood the psychology of sales, which is going to be like covered extensively by Alfred in his own session, right? So he understood what people want. He understood that people are greedy. All right, people are naturally greedy, so they really want to bite more than they can chew. And so what did Belfort do? He had to like give them as much as he had, so that they can bite as much as they needed. And then he had to like run away with their cash. Now, when he was trying to train his team, all right, he had to first of all tell them, okay, this is how to sell. And one of those instances was when he said, sell me this pen. All right, he was trying to just like tell them, okay, for us to even start the whole idea of sales, all right, let's try an experience. Let's try an experience. Sell me this pen. Sell me this pen. And then a lot of the persons that are attended his little masterclass tried to sell, but they weren't good at it. And then he had to start teaching them how to sell. So I would like this class to be very interactive, because I don't want people to be dropping off the call. And I know you've already seen a couple of things on the screen right now, but I want to ask you a question. If somebody told you, sell me this pen, all right, apart from just seeing what is on the screen, all right, how would you sell a pen to somebody? All right, if you have an idea of how you would successfully sell a pen to somebody apart from what we have on the screen, I would like you to just like drop it on the comment section, and I will introduce you. I will just add you up on the stream, and then you can give us that particular answer. So if you want to like join the studio real quickly, right, you can let me know whether you have the response. All right. Meanwhile, I think we have a whole lot of persons here. It doesn't make sense to not recognize the fact that they joined, right? So we have like lots of persons here. So please permit me to just get distracted a little bit and just keep letting people know that okay, I see you, we see you. So welcome Favor, Glory, welcome Favor, welcome Patience, welcome Chukwemeka, Chukweme. Yeah. So welcome, Mimi. Welcome. We have a lot of people here, so I'll just keep flashing it here, so that you know that we saw you. All right. Yeah. Just to make sure that we let you know that okay, we see you. All right, and then we appreciate the fact that you're here. All right. So we have a couple of persons here. Oh, thank you very much for this feedback. Thank you so much. So we have Pamela joining from Abuja. So we have a good number of persons here. So we're gonna continue real quick. I just wanted to, flag the people that, you know, created time to attend this particular event. So we have someone joining from Cameroon. This is actually one of my students, actually, from No Code Africa. Welcome, Patience. So we have Funabong, welcome, Gabriel, welcome, Mag. So I'll just keep on flashing as many as possible. All right. So we have another person. Okay, this is another of my students from Cameroon. Okay, good. So welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I might not be able to flash every single person, but that's it. And thank you very much, Saha Brown, for helping to invite many persons. All right, Mr. Alfred, someone was asking you to share your ice cream real quickly. Okay, so let's see. Peter is here. Peter, welcome again. All right. So I asked the question. Let me see if anybody responded. So somebody said, I have the response, but I'm in transit. Okay. All right. So someone has a response. Does anybody have a response to my question? Like, sell me this pen. I really want it to be interactive. I don't want to be the only one teaching, because the idea is, as you're learning, all right, as you're learning, I want you to be able to like become super creative, enough to even teach me something and teach all of us as well. So we are all here to learn. It's just that I'm the one here teaching. All right. So we have more persons joining. Yo as well. Ido is here. Wagfon. Idara. We have many persons. So okay, Kingsley is asking me what's the question. So the question is quite simple. So you're presented with a simple case of someone asking you, sell me this pen. Do I have a buyer somewhere? Okay, good. So this is a buyer, right? This is a buyer. And then someone tells you, take this pen and sell it to me. All right. So sell me this pen. Sell me this pen. What would be your response, right? What would be your response? So someone said here, create an urgency that shows the person needs it. All right, that's true. But how would you create that urgency? It's one thing to say create an urgency, but how would you create it? All right. So how would you create it? How would you create that urgency? Salawat Lawal, please, can you expatiate? Let us know how you would create the urgency. All right. Let us know how you would create the urgency. Anyways, to continue with what I have been, presenting so far, we have here that the entire secret of selling is hidden in that one sentence. Well, it's not exactly true, but it's just a way to capture the entire thing, right? So the secret of selling is not just hidden in just that one sentence, but there are lots of things that are hidden within that particular question, sell me this pen, that if at all you know how to sell this particular biro to someone, then you would be able to sell just any other thing. All right. So the very first thing is this, right? So according to what happened in the movie, he had to ask the question first. All right. Then he found out what the person needed. And then he now went ahead to create a demand. So the demand in this particular case was, okay, so I think I've seen some responses here. So I'm just gonna flag it here. So I will sell the use case of the pen according to Mregal D. All right, I will sell the use case of the pen, create an urgency around it, and also tap into the present emotion of the user. Perfect, right? So now this is a combination of your ability to decipher what's the customer wants at the moment. All right, that's because you can't just create an urgency around something the customer does not want. So you have to read the room first. That means it has to be that you brought a particular offer to the customer or to this person, and you're like, okay, all right, so you need a buyer to sign this contract. You need a buyer to ask to sign this particular document that I brought to you. And then from there, you go ahead and sell it. And then you just don't sell it. You tap into their present emotion, right? Just by just the same way Embregal D said here. So we have another response. We have use a pain point. Let them see how bad things could go without owning a pen. That's true. All right. So for instance, let me try to put more light on this. Let's say you are in an exam hall. All right. And then the lecturer, for some instance, tells you guys that I don't want anybody that is using a biro that is not this particular color, all right, will fail my exams. So something like that. I know that's serious exploitation anyways. So but then just imagine a lecturer in an exam hall mentioning to his students or her students that if at all you're here and you want to write these particular exams, all right, and then you're not writing it with this particular pen that I'm holding, I have a good number of them, you're going to fail my exams, no matter the kind of biro that you use and no matter how accurate your answers are. You have to use this pen because I'm going to take photos of you, and because of that I will like validate and all of that. So students will be persuaded heavily to purchase the biro, so he could be selling the biro very expensive. All right, so that's it. So you create an urgency, and then from what Gabriel said, let them see how bad things could go without owning that specific biro. Thank you very much, Gabriel. So we have another response here by Benjamin Cole. So create the sense of urgency by asking them to do something with the pen they do not have with them. Perfect. This is exactly what I said earlier, with the analogy that I gave. Then they realize they need the pen to do that thing. They have to buy it. Like it's compulsory that they have to buy it. The urgency is like so visible, they have to buy it. Then we have okay, so then we have okay, let's see what we have from Deborah. Deborah said how to create the urgency. Let's say the person wants to write an exam. This pen writes smooth, no smudging, and won't die on your mid exams. Well, that's good, but not super strong enough. Anyways, it's good but not very strong, because at this point right now you're not creating like an urgency. There has to be an urgency. There has to be, if you don't have these, then you're not going to succeed, right? So okay, so we have I will descend the user's problem. Let's see, that can be so okay. I think you didn't write this completely. So make the person believe they need the pain. I like this particular, I like the way you phrase this. All right, Unique. I like the way you phrase, make the person believe they need the pen. That means you have to create a need for it. And for you to create a need, you're going to do some form of research, like identify it. Look at what, the story of Esau and Jacob in the Bible. All right. I think it was Jacob, right? Yes. So Jacob identified the fact that Esau came back from hunting. I think it was hunting. Yes. He came back from hunting and he was very hungry. I think for some reason, right? Jacob already knew he would come back very hungry, right? So he did his background check. He knew that he doesn't have food at home. All right. He knew that maybe Rachel, all right, the wife of Isaac, did not cook. That's their mom. All right. And then he identified that particular problem. He did some research in this case and then decided to prepare in advance for when Esau returns back from his hunting. And he knew he was going to be very hungry. So in this particular case, he wasn't just trying to make the person believe that make Esau believe he needs the plate of beans. All right. He actually he already understood he would need it. Right. So, but in this particular case, what Unique is trying to say is that you need to make the person believe they need the pain. Like helping them believe is like super important. Right. This is exactly what you do when you're going for an interview in a company. You need to make them believe that if they don't say yes to you, if they don't employ you, that there are huge possibilities that they will begin to make like, a large number of losses in their operation. However, you're going to prove that is going to be based on your understanding of their company. That means you're going to make a research. All right. So you have to prove that they need you so badly to even continue doing business, which is why they have to employ you. Okay. So we have let's see, have an answer to the question. Joining from Mil Base. Okay, joining from Mil. Tell me why I need to spend the value needs benefits of it. Okay, so I'm just gonna flag what we have here. Yes, just like what Peter said here, you can like type your answers. I'll have like lots of questions, so you can like type your answer if at all you don't want to join the studio. But if you want to talk and let us see your face, then you can request to join the studio and answer a couple of questions. So we have another response from Valdobis. Imagine signing something that changes your life, like a job offer, a deal, your first big contract. Okay, great. Okay, someone said here, I think you should ask the person how often he or she uses a pen. No, you don't need to ask, because once you are persuaded or you think you should ask, that means you've not done your homework enough, right? So you shouldn't be doing so much of telling. You should be doing so much of showing. That means telling or even asking questions. You should do a background research, a background survey, try to understand what this particular person needs the most, and then sell it to them. Now that's why selling is difficult, because the work the work that is needed to identify the pain point of this person is enormous. Like it's enormous. You need to like be a magician to be able to decipher the exact pain that this person has, and then from there you sell it to them. All right. So let me see what Valdobi said. In that moment, everything feels real, and the last thing you want is a pen that hesitates. This one doesn't. It's smooth, reliable. Okay, so this is a lot of talk, but then this is good. All right, this is good. All right, I think we're just going to continue talking. I can see a lot of responses here, so I'm just going to flag it. I can't just leave it like that, because it's not going to be encouraging for them that actually decided to participate in responding. So I have to attend to every person. So here, I used to think all pens are same until one failed me. With this pen, you can write your exams without breaking. If you're also a writer, it's worth having. Well, this makes sense. You're trying to give the person a benefit of the doubt that, okay, this is really good. It's not going to fail you, but then it's not super still strong. All right. You can sell at a discounted rate. Well, that's when the person really needs it. You've identified the fact that the person really, really needs this. Then we have, what else do we have? So if at all it was in the office settings, I will ask my boss for his or her bio, then give them a document that is sort of fake so that they can write their name and sign. Well, I think you have an idea of what you're saying. But then you're not really creating a need, because what if your boss already has the buyer? All right. So okay, so imagine being in a meeting where, all right, imagine being in a meeting where you're to close a 220 million naira deal, and you need a pen to append your signature. Without the pen, the deal goes south. So that means you have to be in the hall to sell the pen to the person. Makes sense. Okay, so we have a lot of responses here, like a lot of it. So I think I might not be able to like cover all of it. And okay, I'll just flag this one first. So project the shortcoming of other pen he has used, and then anchor on the unique selling point of the pen you want to sell, which solves the shortcoming they have with the other pen they've used. Now, this makes sense, because this is more like you doing a competitive analysis with regards to the kind of should I say alternative solution that they've been using, right? So for every single person that you want to sell something to, best believe that they already have a previous solution that they've been using. All right. So you shouldn't just assume that they don't have a buyer. All right. You shouldn't just assume that they don't have a particular software. You should just make your research first, identify what they've been using to solve that particular problem, and then figure out the shortcomings, then sell the features in your own application, or in in the pen, for instance, that solves that particular shortcoming. Good response. Thank you very much. I'm glad I didn't miss this. Okay, so we have, okay, so I think we don't really need more responses again. All right, so thank you very much for responding so far. All right, so I will go ahead and continue the presentation. So from what we have here in the slide, you just go ahead and create the demand, and then make sure that you're also selling a feeling. All right, people don't really buy just because there is a demand for it. They also want to, they want it to make them feel good. All right, for instance, All right, let me drive your mind a little bit back to the idea of restaurants. Okay, so we've been in the restaurant hospitality business for about 4 months now, so we're still babyish inside it, but then we've learned a good number of things. By we, I mean Dine Folio. All right, so now when you walk into a restaurant, all right, a bottle of Four Cousins in a restaurant or maybe a lounge sells for, some restaurants sell it for 40,000 naira a bottle, some 30,000 naira a bottle. The same Four Cousin sells for about 7,500, 8,000 naira. Well, you have to buy from a really good place anyways, but let's say it's roughly around 7,000, 8,000 naira from a standard supermarket where you're sure that you're not buying a fake product. Now, that's the price of buying a bottle of Four Cousin and then taking it back to your house to enjoy it. All right. But then when you go to a restaurant, all right, the value of the Four Cousin is no longer 7,000, 8,000. All right, it's 30,000, it's 40,000. In fact, in most clubs, right, if I told you go to the club, right, in most clubs, you could go to buy Four Cousin and then you'll be told it's 50,000, you'll be told it's 40,000. But then you could just buy the same Four Cousin for roughly about 7,000, 8,000, like I said, or even lesser. All right. So now it shows that in these different places, right, in the club, in the restaurant, the reason why the Four Cousin as a drink has a better, like a higher monetary value, is because of the experience that the restaurant tries to offer you. All right. So when you get into the restaurant, you've been, saluted and greeted by really beautiful waiters and waitress. All right. Okay. Waiters should be handsome, right? So yeah, waiters and waitresses. So you get to meet these amazing persons, and then once you've seen them, they welcome you to the restaurant. They make you feel so good. Although some persons might just rush and bring the food menu, all right, but then others might just approach you and be like, "Hi, welcome to Dine Folio restaurant," for instance, and then they'll be like, "How was your day?" They try to make you feel good, all right, and then you feel so relaxed that you're ready to spend your money there. Now, the amount of money, what you pay for the bottle of Four Cousin, what you pay for a plate of food in a restaurant is not really you paying for, what you're eating. You're paying for the experience. You're paying for how they make you feel. All right. That's why at the end of, your stay in a restaurant, you get persuaded to give a tip. And usually it's not like you're giving a tip to the general organization. You're giving a tip to the waiter or the waitress that served you. All right, because you feel good about the experience. So whenever you're trying to sell, you have to first of all start by identifying the need, and then even when the need is not there, you try to create the need, and then from there you identify the demand and make them feel good about what you're trying to do for them, and that's where sale happens. All right, let's go to the next thing. Selling is not about the product, it's about the person. People buy emotions, then justify with logic. All right, now let's use the idea of the brand iPhones, Apple, basically, right? A lot of people buy iPhones not because they understand the usefulness of an iPhone, right? They buy it because everyone is using it. If you're a top shot, then you have to use an iPhone. If you're a tech bro, a tech sis, you should use an iPhone, right? So the reason why this is happening is not by chance. It was created. It was fabricated by these organizations, right? They created this psychology. Well, Alfred is going to cover more of that. All right. So they created this psychology that provides them with massive visibility, which is the area where Peter is going to talk about. In our next class, they created this particular thing and they persuade you through your emotions. All right. They understand that you don't buy based on logic per se. They can't start telling you, when you use, like, for instance, I use mostly Apple products, right? This is not a promotion at all, right? So one of the things that I enjoy the most is that I could just, I could be typing something on my iPhone and then I want to copy it from my iPhone to my MacBook. I don't have to start using Zenda or try to use Bluetooth. All I just need to do is copy the text. I'll just copy it from my phone and come to my MacBook and paste it. It's gonna be there. It's beautiful. It's just amazing. That's like the Apple ecosystem. That's one of the things. But they won't tell you that. They won't tell you that. They won't try to tell you, oh, it's because buy an iPhone because you can easily just seamlessly copy items from your your iPhone and then paste it on your MacBook. They're not going to tell you that because that's logic. All right, that's logical. It's not, it's not persuading your emotions. It's just a logical position that they have put you in, right? So they try to sell the experience. They tell you so many things about security. Apple tells you a lot about security. They understand that the security of your information, right? You want your device to be unhackable. You have a lot of things that you have there that you don't want other people to see. So they tell you, they sell it to you, all right, that it's secure, it's safe. Actually, it's true, it's secure, it's safe. But then they didn't just do this because they were guessing. They did it because they've done like a survey. They've done like marketing survey, user survey. They get to understand that one of the things that people want the most is security, right? They want their device to be, very safe. Every sale is already made. You just have to uncover it. Now, this particular part tells you that the desire already exists inside the buyer. All right. When you're trying to sell something to someone that they need, the desire is already there. It's there. I want this thing. Like right now, I need a car, for instance. All right. I want another car. Okay. So, but you need to be able to drive that particular need via emotions. Show the person frequently. All right. There's this person that that likes like I bought something from someone, all right? And then we exchange contacts and I can see the person's status, the person can see my status on WhatsApp. And every single day, the person shares, products that the person sells, right? It's actually someone that sells cars, right? So I bought a car from him, and then every single time he keeps on advertising new cars, right? And I'll check it out. I'll check it out. And then I'm always like attracted to his, WhatsApp status because he makes it very attractive. Like I see the cars, I see the interiors of the cars, and I'm persuaded to, want to engage him and be like, okay, how far? I would like to maybe swap my car for this one and all of that. So now, what that means is that the desire already exists in me to get this car, all right? But then we need to go ahead and match my exact need, probably with my my budget and all of that. Even find other solutions around it. Like for instance, someone can set up a business and say you can buy a car small, right? That means you can be paying for a particular car. We'll give you the car, you drive the car, you can be paying maybe 100,000 naira or maybe 200,000, 250,000 naira every month until you finish paying for the car. You can take you 2 years and all of that, right? So someone can do that. All right. Then the next one is people buy from people they trust and like. Now that brings us to appearance. Now, you have to look it if you want to be bought. All right. You have to look it if you want to be bought. Now, if you're selling anything, you have to make sure that you are attractive. Now, I'm not talking about you as a person being attractive, right? All right. That's very important. The person that is about buying from you has to trust you. You have to look trustworthy, right? And this person has to like you as well. That means you basically, I think the reverse is like, this is how it works. I like you, then I trust you. All right. I have to like you first before I can trust you. So they have to like you first, maybe from how you talk, from how you are concerned about the pain. You're not really trying to get money out of their pocket. You're trying to sell a solution first. In fact, you can even offer free trial periods, right? Be like, okay, I'm not really super concerned about money right now. I can remember when we launched Folio in January 2026, that's this year. When we launched it, one of the things that I did was when we went to the different restaurants, all right, different restaurants and hotels and lounges, what I did was I had to first of all tell them their pain, let them understand that I can feel their pain. Their pain in the sense that they find it very difficult to identify their profit easily. They also find it very difficult to identify who is stealing from them. All right, they find it very difficult to do proper bookkeeping and accounting and all of that. So everything is done on paper. right? And then as a business owner, you have to go back to your business premises to be able to see what has been sold, for instance. And then let's say you don't have a website for your business, and that means that your visibility is dropped. And I had to like go ahead and tell them all of this. When I finished, the question that comes is, guy, I like what you're saying. I like every single thing that you're saying. I've been, you've bought my attention, right? But then how much is this? Then you go ahead and tell them the cost of your product, right? And then maybe at that particular point, you read their facial clues, the non-verbal cues, and then you discover that, okay, money can be like a problem here. This particular person is not, might not be able to pay this amount of money for this software. So you go ahead and let them understand that, okay, I'm not here to sell. I'm not just here to sell to you. I'm here to see how I can help your business do better. Now, I did try to, put up some things around hypnosis and, persuasion in my slide, but I wasn't successful at that. So I think in the next class, we're going to talk about hypnosis. All right. Hypnosis in sales. This is very important. Don't miss it at all. All right. Because most times the person you're trying to sell to might be very tough. All right. So you have to discover ways to break into their subconscious and sell to them. All right. So doctors do this in the medical field. There's a medical hypnosis. Hypnosis is not an entirely good thing for you to do without, being trained on how to do it. All right. So I learned hypnotism like way back, just after finishing secondary school, far back as early as 2011, right? After WIAC and all of that. I was just trying to learn a lot of things. So I learned hypnotism. I learned mentalism, make like more like ideas on how to make yourself smarter and able to convince someone to pay you for your skills, basically. So now we're going to talk about this subsequently. Why I mentioned that is because for you to break the barrier between you and the client that is proving very stubborn, or the potential customer that is proving very stubborn, you might need to break into their subconscious, all right, through the art of hypnotism, which is practically very safe if you learn it from really good professionals like myself. All right, so sales happen when pain is bigger than price. All right, exactly. Now, if I thought the pain that I'm going through, all right, is way smaller than the amount of money that you're charging me for the solution to this pain, I'll just pass it. I'll be like, I'll pass. All right. So that's why, let's say you're trying to sell a tech software like I have been trying to sell, and my team and other good marketers working with me. Now, if I thought you go to sell the Dynefolio software to a particular customer, and then you start taking your price over the roof, and then you say it's 2 million per year for subscription fee, no matter how much pain that they have, the amount of money you've mentioned so far is way larger than how they can quantify their pain. So they'll pass, they'll leave it. But then when they discover that you have made their pain so large, so big, all right, that they can't ignore it, and then the price that you're offering for this solution is almost negligible. All right, that means it's more like you telling them, okay, see, with this particular technology, we'll be able to plug the losses that you have been experiencing in your hotel, in your restaurant, in your business. All right, we're going to plug it. You've been losing roughly, we've done like an auditing in your company so far, and we've discovered that you lose roughly about 10 million every single month. 10 million every single month, right? And then we've built a software that can allow you to plug this particular, loss. It's not going to happen again if at all you just subscribe to use our software, and we are charging you 200,000 naira. All right. That's way lesser than 5% of the amount of money that they lose. All right. That's like really, really less, like super less. All right. That's roughly 2%, right? That's roughly 2%. So they will go ahead and jump on it. They'll jump on it. And in fact, there will be more like, okay, yeah, I can experiment on this. This is how much I lose, and then this is the potential solution that this person is offering. Let's guess it. Let's take it. All right, and that's it. So I'm gonna move to the next slide. All right. So here we have 6 laws that govern every sale. All right, so we have social proof, scarcity, commitment, liking, authority, and reciprocity. All right, so now here, you can't just sell to somebody without giving, like, you can't expect to get money from someone without giving them something. All right, that's why if you observe most of the tech products that you've been using, one of the examples I'm going to mention right now is Grok. For persons that have been using trying to create AI content, video content, right? Now Grok made their technology available for free for a very long time. They have to give to you first before they could take. After giving you for a very long time, they now decided that, okay, it's time to take. And actually, they are taking a lot now. And a lot of people are paying because they know that uh, the benefits to paying the little amount of money that they're charging is not compared to the amount of the pain, in quotes, in fact, not the pain in this case, the need. Although the need can also be described as the pain, because let's say you want to create these videos that is done seamlessly in few seconds by Grok. You want to send it to maybe a video creator, an animator, a 3D modeling person to create it for you. It's going to take them weeks and it's going to cost you a lot of money to just create like a 6 seconds video. But then Grok is giving you that same value for cheap. You're jumping at it. All right. So that's the idea for that very first law that governs every sale, which is reciprocity. All right. So give first. When you give value, help, or kindness, people feel compelled to give back. So that's why it's very important to give free trials. All right. So you're running you're involved in selling tech products, then you go ahead and give free trial. Then another one is social proof. All right. People do what others are doing. 12 restaurant owners already use Dinefolio closes faster than any pitch. All right. So you walk up to a particular restaurant, you walk up to a particular CEO of a particular hotel, and you tell them that right now, that particular hotel, that one, you list all of them that you know that it will ring a bell. All right, in the mind of this particular person you're trying to close, they're already using this. And then as a result of that, last month they were able to save certain amount of money. They were able to plug and cut off about 10 million naira that they would have lost, but now it's none as profit. You say all of that and they are sold, because they'll be like, okay, that company, they bought it. All right, they are using it. It must be effective. So why not? So at that point, when you tell them that, and then you tell them, okay, don't worry, we can give you a free trial, 7 days free trial. Or you can tell them you can pay for 1 month to experience it, money back guaranteed. So if you don't enjoy the experience, you don't like it, we give you your money back. All right. So there has to be social proof. That's where we also have the idea of, feedbacks and reviews from previous customers coming. All right. Then scarcity. All right. Humans want what they can't have. It's very important. Humans want what they can't have. We only have 3 slots left in this month. Create urgency instantly. We have, let's say you're trying to, sell a particular cause, and then you're selling it for, let's say, $100. And then you come up with a particular concept that, like maybe in your sales copy, you mentioned that out of 50 slots that you had, it's just about 3 that is left. And it's going to finish very soon. People are going to rush for it, right? Because they don't want to, miss out. FOMO, the fear of missing out. They don't want to, miss out of that particular, offer. All right. Then authority. People obey experts, credentials, results, and confidence. And confidence positions you as one with the answer. Now, let me tell you where I use this particular law, right? Now, when I started out before I started out freelancing on Upwork, right, what I did was I first of all created a YouTube channel, the one you're on right now, the No Code Africa YouTube channel. So it was created since December 2023, 2022, right? But it was actively used from January 2023. All right. Now, I knew that at some point I will begin freelancing on Upwork, trying to get clients to hire me for my skills. What I did was this. I understood that you have to position yourself as an authority. All right. This is very important. This is why people use LinkedIn. All right. People use LinkedIn. They write all those stories, not for fun. They write those stories because they want you to identify them as an authority, because people buy from authorities. They don't buy from beginners. So if at all you've ever posted on on LinkedIn that you're just beginning, or that you are, uh, how do people put it? They say, I've forgotten how they say it. They'll say like, I'm more like an upcoming. Yeah, don't use words like that. Don't even try it. Don't say I'm upcoming designer, I'm upcoming mobile app developer. No, mention that you're an expert. All right, mention that you're an expert. All right, then position yourself, learn every single skill that is going to help you defend your level of expertise when it's been questioned. All right, so but you don't ever have to sell yourself short. You don't have to say, oh, I'm an upcoming artist, I'm an upcoming digital marketer, I'm an upcoming sales expert. No, you're the best salesperson in the world, right? You're the best salesperson in the world, because if you don't say it, who else is going to say it? If you don't believe it, who else is going to believe it then? So I created the YouTube channel. All right, let me just finalize that. I created the YouTube channel. I started teaching people how to build mobile apps without coding. Now, let me go ahead and leak one of my secrets here, right? Now, when I started teaching on the No Code Africa YouTube channel, I didn't really know how to build so well, right? I was basically going to other people's YouTube channel, all right? And then I learned how to build a particular thing, and I'll come back to my YouTube channel, then I'll teach it. But then what made me different from others was because I was able to break it down even more. I was teaching as if I'm teaching a child, right? So my audience, the subscribers, my followers, they were able to like appreciate my method of teaching because it was very simple. It was like really down to earth. There was a lot of respect for you not knowing, not like you should know this, you should know this. There was a lot of respect when you're trying to teach the person. All right. Okay. So when I did that, I created like lots of tutorials on how to do this and how to do that. Even though I was still a beginner, people started reaching out to me to hire me to build softwares for them because of what? They thought I was already an authority in the field. That's the catch. That's the secret. You have to go ahead and then position yourself as an authority, position yourself as someone super good at this already. All right. And then no one is going to question you. So you have to set up yourself as an authority. And then, in fact, when I was freelancing on Upwork, all right, when I'm sending out my proposal, I will add my YouTube channel. I'll be like, okay, I am an instructor on YouTube where I teach people how to build mobile and web applications without writing codes. This is the link. You can check me out. When they go ahead and see it, they discover that this is the guy we have been waiting for. This is the guy we want because he's already teaching people. Before you teach people means you already know what you're talking about, right? So I established myself. I positioned myself as an authority, and that made a lot of sense. I even had to go ahead and add things like I am an instructor on Udemy where I teach people. I have paid courses there, and then they'll go there, they'll check, they see that it's true. I have a lot of students that have bought the courses, and then and voila, he's gonna come and send me an offer to hire me, and that's it, right? So then we have this other part that has to do with liking. We buy from people we like. Smile, find common. I don't know why can't really see that very well. I think there's a number here that's blocking all of that. So the idea is we buy from people we like. We smile with people we like. Someone is not going to look so wicked and you're going to be smiling at the person, except you're wicked yourself. If somebody looks very wicked, very stern, right, you're going to be cautious. You might even frown, like, who are you? You feel already withdrawn from the person, right? So, but then if somebody's all smiling, that's why at the bank, you see the bankers, always smiling at you. All right. If you go to the restaurant, you see waiters smiling at you, waitresses smiling at you. The manager smiles at you because they want your money. They want you to feel comfortable to spend your money. All right. Now, even politicians also smile at you. They smile at you because during campaigns, right? Like the upcoming campaign we're going to have in 2027, they will smile at you. They will tell you all the beautiful things, and they will still smile at you because they want your vote. All right. So you have to make sure that you're likable, cast this particular, demeanor that makes people be like, oh, he's a likable person. He's a very attractive person. I want to get close. I want to get, really close. So commitment. When someone says yes to a small thing, they tend to stay consistent Start small, build momentum. Now, let me explain that. This is very important. Now, when you're trying to sell something to someone, let's say it's big, all right? Let's say it's very big, like it's a big thing. Now, you have a product you want to sell to someone, and one of the things you can do first is try to sell something smaller. It could be about you telling the person, can we take a walk outside? You sold something to the person. Don't take it as a very small thing, right? You told the person, let's take a walk outside. First of all, this is his or our business premise, and you're just coming. And who are you to tell me to take a walk with you? Sell something. Tell the person, let's take a walk, let's talk. All right. Or you go ahead and tell the person, visit this particular platform and take a look at this. The person has done something. There has to be a commitment to small things. Let them buy small things from you. Of course, in this case, they're not buying with cash. They're buying with their attention. All right. Let them buy those little things first before you now sell something, because that way you've already closed them in. They've become super familiar with you. Now let me give another instance. Now let's say you want to, you're a mobile app developer. You build applications for customers, and then one of the things that you could do is this. You could go ahead and look at the existing solution, right, before you even sell a better one to them. Yeah, because most persons, like I said, they already have an alternative to the problem that you want to help them solve. They've solved it before. It's not a new problem. They faced it before. For it to be something that you've identified, I mean, they faced it before. So now when you go to go and meet them, you can identify the existing solution that they have. Maybe their website is broken. Don't go ahead and just quickly suggest a new one at once, because you don't know when they have already paid for the website to be built. It might have just been recently, and then you're proposing to them, let's build a new one. Let's throw that into the bin. It's not nice. It's not good. Go ahead and tell them that, okay, the current UI of your website is not really appealing. I can change it for you. Don't ask for money. They will go ahead and then allow you. They give you the opportunity to change it. You go ahead and provide a little facelift to maybe the landing page, and they look at it and they're like, this is beautiful. I would like every other page to look like it. And then you tell them, okay, that means we have to do a total overhaul of the entire website. All right. That's how you sell. That's how you sell. It could be like a bug on their website, and you help them fix a little thing. All right, you fix it, or you go ahead and suggest something they can do on their platform to just make it a bit better. All right, let's go further. A sale happens the moment belief is greater than resistance. All right, so this is still very similar to what I have been saying for the past 30 minutes now. So a sale happens the moment belief is greater than resistance. Your buyer has 3 questions running in their head all the time. Do I trust this person? Do I even need this? Is it even worth the price? So this is where you get to build a rapport with the person. You have to ask questions, be jovial. Don't try to sell immediately, right? I can remember what happened the last time I was at Port Harcourt, right? I went to Port Harcourt for an interview, and then when I got there, I went to eat their native soup. It was really nice. And then when I left the restaurant, a particular young lady approached me. Actually, we were like 3. Yeah, me and my friends. Yeah, so she approached us, and she wanted to sell. You see, I can't even remember what she was trying to sell. I think, yeah, she was trying to sell some supplements, I think. Right. But then when she came, she just came straight to selling. All right. Although she tried making me a bit comfortable with her, but I could already identify she was trying to sell to me. She first of all said that my native, because I was wearing a white senator with this same, cap. She said the senator was really nice. I already knew she wasn't hitting on me. She was trying to sell something. Like, I could get that vibe, because first of all, she was with other, I think 2 more salespeople beside her. So once she just told me that, I was like, okay, she wants to sell, right? And then she didn't even disappoint me. She started selling. And I was I had this huge resistance to what she was selling, because I felt like Don't sell to me. Come on, don't sell. Now, people that you want to sell to don't want you to sell to them. They don't want you to sell to them. So don't try to sell per se. All right. Meander your way into their space. All right. And then find a way to make them comfortable. Just talk about the problem. Let them even be the one to tell. Like, you walk into a particular company. Let's say you want to build a website for the client, and then you start asking, "How is business? Right? How is business? How is sales today?" You just have, this is your business. I really have so much confidence that you're gonna do well. But then, let's just talk about your business a bit. You talk, you talk, you talk. In fact, you can even go to the place as if you're a customer. It makes it easier. All right. I've actually tried selling to food vendors, the one without stores, physical stores before on WhatsApp. And when I send them a message, like a long sales script, telling them about the fact that, okay, my name is David Rock, I'm a technology entrepreneur, I'm the founder of Dynefolio. Dynefolio does this, does that, does this. Once I just send that particular information to them, they're not responding. And obviously, I know why. They know I want to sell to them, so they leave me alone. So I now went ahead to decipher, like, to create another strategy, and that one worked really fast. What did I do? I went ahead and appreciated their efforts in building an amazing food business. I even had to use Pigeon, right? So I built an AI software basically to help me with my outreaches, right? So it would generate the outreach and send it directly to WhatsApp. It can do Pigeon and all of that. So I go ahead and send this message as if I just want to appreciate the fact that you're doing amazing work. I'll be like, man, I just want to reach out to you and say that you're doing an amazing work with your business. This is amazing. In fact, I've seen your reviews and all of that. In fact, the sky is your limit. Sky is even your starting point, right? The person is gonna be like, "Oh, come on, thank you so much for these and all of that." Then I can go ahead and start saying things like, "Do you have a digital food menu I could go through and check your dishes?" At that point, I just want to check out whether the person has a solution, has a similar solution already. The person now says, "Oh no," I'll be like, "Okay, no problem. Can you just forward me your food menu with prices? Let me take a look at it." They go ahead and send it to me, and then in few seconds, right? Because we have a platform we use for outreach, MMEI. It was named after my mom, right? So with that, I can just go ahead and onboard this person as a vendor real quick. And of course, there's a default message that is sent to because of the fact that I am super excited about your business. I went ahead and created a digital food menu for your business because I want you to do fine. From there, conversation starts. All right, conversation starts. Last month, do you have an idea of how much income you made for your business? Oh, I can't really keep track of that because I have to go ahead and focus on what I'm cooking and even marketing. It's all exhausting. I'm overwhelmed. I'm listening, basically. All right. Then from there, they don't have an idea of the amount of money they made last month. They don't have an idea of the cost, the sales cost. All right, the expenses that they incurred last month. That's all the solutions that Dynefolio has. Now, you don't go ahead and just jump in to start selling. You go ahead and then even allow, be like, okay, no problem. All right, so this is it. I've built a food menu already. In fact, with this platform, you will be able to start having like proper bookkeeping for your business. In fact, customers can take orders from the digital menu and then you receive it on WhatsApp. And as you're receiving this thing, it's automatically recording your sales on the dashboard, which you can check out by following this. You send them the username, the email address, the password, then they check it out. Don't talk about the price yet. Then tell them, go ahead. I would like to see how you get to use the platform for the next week. I would like to take feedbacks later and all of that. They go ahead, they start using it. Ensure they use it, because if they're not using it, you're not going to be able to request for payment later. After 1 week, you come over and be like, okay, that was like a 7 days free trial. All right. Did you enjoy it? You'd be like, oh, this is amazing. I can now tell how much I have made for the past 7 days. In fact, I could calculate the expenses. I have a document that shows my end of day, a lot of things. All right. And then you tell the person, okay, this is it, right? The cost of the software. The person will ask you, is this software free? They're the ones to even start asking you the questions now. Is it free? We'll say, oh, no, it's not free. But then it's not even expensive at all. In fact, with 3,000 naira a month, you have access to other premium features that I've not even introduced you to. So imagine having, blah, 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 blah. You tell the person all of that. They're already sold. the amount of money that you're charging for this solution that you're offering them is way lesser than the cost of their problem. All right. Okay, so that's it. So do I trust this person? You've already been able to make this person trust you. Then the person has been made to understand that they need this. So you have to expose their pain. Ask how much are you losing monthly to inventory theft right now? If at all they're running like a traditional restaurant, they have like a physical, walk-in restaurant. Ask then from there, the next thing is it worth the price? All right, is it worth the price? Show the return on investment for them. The portfolio costs so amount of money, but then you're going to be able to like save so amount of money by virtue of using our software. All right, so now let me go ahead and check out. I think I'm just going to like zoom in like this and have access to like the full thing. Yeah, so the portfolio costs 30,000 naira per month, but what is 1 month of on-track losses costing you? Now, this is the question that they get, that you get to ask them, and then from there you can close your sale. So let me go ahead and then share this one. Every human being on earth is trying to move from pain to pleasure. Everybody's trying to do that. So Maslow knew it. Belfort built $1 billion on it. Jesus thought it. Your job as a seller is to be the bridge. All right. So you have to be the bridge between the pain and pleasure. Be the bridge between the pain and pleasure. So as a seller, you're a bridge. So that means you're going to let them understand that with this particular solution, this particular thing you're selling to them, you're going to bring them more money, more security and control, more status and recognition, more time back, more peace of mind, more growth and scale. So the more money part, you tell them, for instance, okay, so the use case I use here is mostly what we are doing, right, in Dinefolio. Okay, so for the more money part, every restaurant owner wants profit. Tell them, show them Dinefolio equals fewer leakages, which means more money. By leakages here, you're talking about losses, you're talking about theft, and the absence of control. All right, then these other parts, security and control, the fear theft, all right, the fear losses, the fear chaos. Dinefolio is their security system. So Apple has already sold you that idea of security, right? Which is why most persons buy iPhones, right? Then these other parts, status and recognition. A beautiful digital menu and website makes them look premium, all right? Because with Dinefolio, you have a beautiful menu and you have a beautiful website. It makes you look premium. In fact, you can even increase the cost of your sales of your products, and your customers wouldn't even bat an eye and they'll still pay because of what? You're top notch. You're giving them a beautiful fine dining experience. Then another one which everybody wants is time back. We don't have a lot of time in this world. Okay, so they're overwhelmed. Dinefolio automatically automates inventory, bookkeeping, and others because time equals life. If you give them their time back, it's more like you're giving them, life back. All right. So if somebody gives you give you time back, it means it's more like the person giving you life. All right. So we have the next one, peace of mind. Not knowing your numbers is terrifying. Dinefolio gives clarity. That's priceless. All right. So you don't know how much you're making in your business. All right. You don't know how much you're spending in your business. So you don't even know whether next month you'll be able to survive it. But then Dinefolio walks in and then gives you clarity. That's priceless. All right. Growth and scale. Every vendor wants to grow. Show them Dinefolio as the foundation for a bigger business. All right. In this case, every single time you want to sell something to someone, I'm just using Dinefolio as a use case. All right. Okay. But then every single thing that I've said here can be applied in every other area of your endeavor. Let's say you want to sell software, you want to sell gadgets, just anything. It can be, it can be used. All right. Okay. So let's go to the next one. The first recorded sales transaction in history. Okay. So now in Genesis 25, verse 29 to 34, Esau came in from the field, starving and exhausted. I talked about it before, so we're not going to waste a lot of time. The situation. Esau was in extreme pain, physically starving. All right. He had no capacity to think long term. His pain was in the present. His birthright was in the future. All right. Now the pitch. Jacob knew. Jacob said, sell me your birthright. He waited until Esau's pain was maximum. He was so hungry. And like I said, maybe Rachel wasn't around to cook for her kids. All right. So He waited until Esau's pain was maximum. He had the solution, which is food, and offered it at the moment of peak need. At the moment of peak need. So you can go around identifying your potential target customers. And then at that point, you go ahead and then sell it to them. All right. So let me just minimize this just to be sure that my screen is being seen. Okay. So, all right. Thank you very much for many people. I see some comments here. So once I'm done teaching, I will respond to the comments. So, all right. Let me just, continue teaching. All right. So now a sale, then the lesson here is a sale made in a moment of pain can trade something small for something massive. Know when your buyer is at peak pain, that's when you close. So in fact, you have to keep on driving at it. That's why most times, right, you might not really know exactly when they get to peak pain. And that's the reason why most organizations provide free trial. Because if at all you're going to jump on our free trial campaign, it means that we are solving a particular problem for you. And then at the point where you are using it the most, you're at your peak need. And at your peak need, we can go ahead and request for money. That's what Grok did. And then they cashed out. So for the Infolio application, walk into a restaurant and ask, how much do you lose to theft last month? They might not know, but they have a figure in mind. Wait for their pain to surface, then offer the solution. That's Jacob's play. That's you basically using the same strategy like Jacob. All right, so now another one here is the greatest salesman in history, Jesus. All right, so Jesus didn't just preach, he demonstrated, served, and sacrificed. He's one of the greatest salesmen in history, and he happens to also be God. The entire ministry of Jesus was the greatest sales campaign ever run. Here's the playbook. Now you have to give value first. That's what Jesus did. And he did this right from the very first time it was recorded. I think that wasn't the first time per se, but he didn't do that. It was his father that did. Now, when he was baptized, he was baptized by John the Baptist. Now, by the mere fact that he got baptized, the cloud had changed, and God, his father, echoed out of heaven saying, "This is my beloved son, in whom I'm well pleased. Hear ye him." That was already a powerful sign. A lot of persons at that point already bought the idea that Jesus is a big deal. All right, which is what giving out value entails. So you have to give value first. What Jesus did later is providing lots of miracles. Before we even talk about healing the sick, feeding 5,000. Okay, yeah, it's already here. So turn water to wine. One of the first things he did was turning water to wine. He established himself as an authority. I'm the Baba for this thing. No one is going to give you salvation except me. All right. So I can turn water to wine. That means I can change any single thing in your life. I can make your life that is presently bitter to sweet. I can help you become a better person. All you just need to do is follow me. In fact, his sales skills, his sales power was so powerful that he could walk up to fishermen that only knew how to fish in their entire life. He was able to walk towards them, walk to them, and then sell the idea to them and told them, guys, leave your boats, leave your fishing profession. Come, I will help you, make you become fishers of men. Make you become fishers of men. That could have only been done by the best and greatest salesman in history, right? So he healed the sick, fed 5,000, turned water to wine before asking for anything. Before asking for anything. He gave value first until people couldn't ignore him. So you have to give before you ask. What did he ask at the end? He just went ahead and asked you to love your neighbor as you love yourself. First of all, you have to confess that Jesus Christ is your personal Lord and Savior, receive salvation. And then the other basic stuff was love yourself, love your nature as you love yourself, and then love your God with all your heart. No big deals. No real big deal. Although inside all of that is a lot of things anyways. So now the second one here is Build trust through consistency. 3 years. His ministry was basically 3 years. So 3 years, every day, teaching, healing, showing up through his belt over time. Not in one meeting, showing up consistently for your clients. So you're not just going to try to help them one time. You're going to try to help them continuously until they feel good about your product, they feel good about your service. All right. And in fact, if at all you're showing up consistently, you can even create some variants to the product that you've already sold, and then you put it out as upsells. All right. And then they can get to buy it and then upsell. All right. So then the next one here is telling stories. Jesus was the best, or is, well, in the story is the best storyteller. He had to bring up a lot of parables. He had to bring up a lot of parables because with the parables, he was able to drive his points back home. He couldn't just tell you, do this. He couldn't just tell you, you have to be prepared. He had to go ahead and bring up a lot of parables to let you understand him properly. All right. So he never said, believe me. He said, let me tell you a story. Parables made people understand through their own experiences. So in this case, you have to use analogies very well. Now, the last one here is the ultimate sacrifice, which is proof of concept, proof of product, right? The cross wasn't failure. He died. Yes, he died. He died at the cross of Calvary. He was beaten. He was abused. He was disgraced. But that was the idea. The ultimate sacrifice was, dying on the cross of Calvary. It was the proof of the product. Now, why did he do that? He wanted to show you that I can die and I can resurrect. That means if I could die and resurrect, I can give you life. And that was the thing. I give you salvation, I can give you life eternal. He showed that. The cross wasn't a failure. It was a product of demonstration. He showed the depth of his belief by giving everything. The best salespeople put skin in the game. You have to be hurt. You have to be hard. You have to go ahead and keep on doing the work. You don't have to be, physically hard per se, but taking time to sit down to analyze the pain of your customer, even before you go to them to present it. It takes hard work. All right. It takes hard work for you to go ahead and then, identify their pain. You have to put your skin there. And of course, you're going to go under the hot sun trying to sell something. You're going to inconvenience yourself. You would have stayed in your house, in the comfort of your home, maybe watching TV and being broke, right? That's comfortable. But then you decided that, okay, I'm going to go ahead and then put my skin in the game. I'm going to sell. I'm going to walk under the hot sun. I'm going to go ahead and then even borrow money to, sew really nice clothes so that I can look presentable, look likable, look attractive. Then from there I can sell. All right. So that's it. Now let's go ahead and talk about Richard Branson. All right, so we have Richard Branson. He's he runs a lot of companies. Is the founder of Virgin Airlines, right? Yes, he started an airline company with zero money and a bold promise. In 1984, Branson had no plans, no pilots, no airline experience. What he had was just a vision and the nerve to pitch it. All right, now this is it. I'm going to just tell you the story, how it happened. It's one of my finest sales stories or finest, scenarios that makes me understand that the future is bright. Because if Branson could do this, we all can do it. As sales experts, we all can do it. So Branson called Boeing and asked to lease a 747. It was one of their planes. It was an old plane, but it was still able to fly. Branson had no money. All right. Boeing said yes, because Branson saw the vision of what Virgin Atlantic could become. He painted the future so vividly, Boeing believed it too. He negotiated a clause. All right. So basically, the idea here is there has to be a pitch, the guarantee, the promise, and then, of course, we're going to talk about the lesson for you. So he negotiated a clause. If the airline fails in year one, you get the plane back. He removed the risk for Boeing. Great sellers eliminate the fear of saying yes. I need you to listen to that again. Great sellers eliminate the fear of saying yes. Now, somebody wants to buy a product from you. I want to buy a phone from you. I want to buy it. I need it. But what is the guarantee that this phone is going to last? All right. I have a fear that it could go bad. And I don't have money to keep buying multiple phones. So how am I going to, be sure that I'm not going to lose money? So if you want to be a great seller, you have to find ways to always eliminate the fear of saying yes. That means you have to read your target audience, the person you're trying to sell to, identify their possible fear. If you can't read it, ask them. All right. Tell them that they can be honest about their feelings. Make them comfortable enough to tell you how it is. Let them understand that you're not really here to sell, that you could walk away without selling, and then you guys can still remain friends. You could even still help the person with one favor or the other in their business. Right. So you find a way to eliminate the fear of saying yes. All right. Then the promise. We will be the airline that actually treats passengers like human beings. He didn't sell flights. He sold dignity, fun, and a better experience. The feeling was the product. The feeling wasn't the airline. The feeling was the product. All right. The lesson here for you is you don't need money to sell. You need conviction. You need clarity and the ability to make someone see your vision. Walk into that restaurant and sell Dinefolio like Branson sold Virgin Atlantic with nothing but certainty. Okay, so let's go to the next thing. The pitch that changed everything. Startup founders who sold their way to billions. I'm just gonna draw your mind to a couple of startups that made pitches that changed everything. So we have Travis Kalanick, the one of the founders, the co-founders of Uber. So he now said one of the things that he said when he was pitching was, "What if you could press a button and a car appears?" What if you could press a button and a car appears? You have to paint a picture. Like you have to paint a picture such that the person can think about it, like visualize it, visualize it, visualize it. Now, this guy, this is just an example that just came to my brain right now. Henry Ford, the founder of the Ford Motor Company, when he was working on his automobiles, right? Now, he knew that if he asked mankind, all right, humans, what they wanted, then we had chariots, right? If he asked them, what do you want? They would say they wanted faster chariots. Faster chariots. But then that's not what he built. He went ahead and built a car. Like he built a car, and then it changed the future of automobile and road transportation forever. So then Drew Houston, the founder of Dropbox, all right, he said, imagine never losing a file again. All right, imagine never losing a file again. He made a 3-minute demo video before the product was built. The video got 75,000 signups overnight. He sold the solution before he even had the solution. Key is sell the future before you have the product. Sell it. There is no crime in that. You don't have the product yet, go ahead and sell it. Now, let me go ahead and tell you something that happened over the weekend, which is also going to introduce you guys to a new product that you will be assigned to, facilitate and make like lots of money from. So over the weekend, precisely this Saturday, I got a strange call, a call from a strange number. I picked it, and the person said, your number was given to me by someone. He refused to mention the person's name. And the person said, you have a software that can help with inventory and point of sale. I said, yes, that's called Dinefolio. But then it's for hospitality brands, restaurants, hotels, cafes, lounges, and clubs. He said, okay, yes, but my business is not a food business. My business is I sell equipments and accessories in the safety industry, for instance, right? And he has like 2 shops, and he wants to pay for the product. Do you have it or not? So I didn't tell him I don't have it. I told him that, okay, no problem. I'll come to your shop on Monday and then set it up for you real quickly. Now, the product wasn't there. Now, I had already gotten like a couple of, requests by other persons, but then none actually indicates paying for it before it was even available. Well, I can't tell you it's not available. Basically, I will tell you it's already there, and then I beat it overnight. And so over the weekend, I had to start building like a complete platform as powerful as Dynefolio, but now for just every single kind of business. All right, for every single kind of business, and it's called Rivaria. It's one of the things that you're one of the software as a service packages that you're going to end up selling that will help you make like a lot of money. So when I talked about you making up to at least 160,000 naira within 48 hours, that's before Friday, I was serious because I was going to equip you with the skill to sell the product like simple and fast. All right. So that's the thing here. So he made Drew Houston made a 3-minute demo video before the product was built, and the video got 25,000 signups overnight. He sold the solution even before he had the solution. All right, then Brian Chesky, the one of the co-founders of Airbnb. What if you could stay in someone's home like a local and pay less than a hotel? Very simple. Book a room with a local rather than a hotel. That was a simple picture that he had to paint to investors to even fund his business. So rejected by 7 investors, he kept pitching. He pitched the vision of belonging to the Airbnb is worth $75 billion. The key, rejection is not a stop sign, it's a redirect. Because in as much as you can be super good at sales, you get a couple of rejections. But then it is not a stop sign, it is more like a redirection. Every sale ever made follows this structure. So now this is the 2 minute formula that you need to learn, right? So the idea was, how to sell to anyone in 2 minutes. So this is the 2 minutes formula. Every sale ever made follows this structure. The very first 20 seconds is for you to, use something called the hook. Open with their pain, not your product, please. How much do you lose monthly to theft and on-track sales? Silence. They feel the pain. Some of them might not even be acquainted with this particular question. So once you ask them, they'll be in tune to answer this particular question. All right. So you've already hooked them. In fact, it doesn't take so much time for you to ask them that question. But then you're going to start interacting, and then it's going to take 20 seconds roughly. Then the second one, which is empathy. All right. So we have, I understand most restaurant owners I speak with have the exact same problem. You're not alone, and there is a fix. So you have to empathize with this particular customer. Let the person understand that you're not a robot. You're here to help. You empathize with their pain, with their problem, and then you tell them that you're not alone. Everybody wants to know that you're not alone, all right? And then offer the idea that there's a fix, and then you build trust really quickly. Then the next at the 45 seconds, all right? So you now go ahead and present them with the solution. Dynefolio tracks every sale, auto deducts inventory, flags suspicious staff activity, and gives you full bookkeeping, all from your phone. Show, don't tell. Now, at this point, you're not trying to tell the person, all right? You're showing it. Before you even went there, you've already used AI, for instance, to create the onboard the customer even before they even knew it. So you can walk into a restaurant, sit for a bit, get the food menu, use AI, and then snap it and onboard the customer real quick. You have the digital food menu now. You have the QR code they can scan, and that's all you need. Immediately after you've done that, you request to see the manager or the owner of the business and have this chit chat with the person, starting with the hook, then empathizing, then offering the solution. And then the solution here is not just you talking, right? You're showing, right? You show them the QR code for them to scan. They scan, they place an order in real quick. You show them on the dashboard that this is how it works. Show them the inventory management section, and then you close the deal. At this point now, the next one is proof. We launched January 2026 and processed 165 million naira in vendor revenue in March alone. Now, 12 restaurants use us today. Numbers seal trust. Now, once you let them understand that, okay, so and so persons, different restaurants are using your technology, and then you spit out some numbers, right? They will already like be very interested in listening to you. All right. Then the last one is close it. And remember, the only way you can successfully close this kind of deal is by making sure that the belief is higher than the resistance. And then for the belief to be higher than the resistance here, you have to make sure that what you're charging them is not excessive, it's not exorbitant. So you can tell them that it's 3 months, it's 3,000 naira a month. That's for food vendors that don't have a space, less than the cost of 1 day of on track losses. Can I set up your free menu right now? Then shut up. The next person to speak loses. Something like that. All right. So the next one here is selling Dine Folio, the main event. So one of the things that you're going to be doing, all right, in this masterclass session is you're going to be involved with choosing this solution as your very first sale. And you're not just selling, you're going to end up being able to to make some money, all right, to make some money from this particular thing you're going to be doing. All right. So how to sell a Dine Folio subscription to a restaurant. We've talked about a lot of things. So I'll just run it real quick. All right. To a restaurant, hotel, cafe, or club. First, you have to understand what they fear the most. All right. The restaurant owner fears losing money to staff theft and unrecorded sales. That's their fear. All right. So you start with the opening hook. Can I show you exactly where your money is disappearing every day? That means you can, pinpoint exactly where they lose money. All right. And then you show them. Then for the hotel manager, they fear operational chaos, no system, no data, no control. Now you go ahead and give them an opening hook. What if you could manage orders, inventory, and bookkeeping from your phone? They'll be attracted, they'll be excited. All right. Then the cafe owner, they fear looking on serious, no digital menu, no website. They want to look premium. All right. So you go ahead and start with the opening hook that says, in 10 minutes, I can give your cafe a QR menu on a professional website just within 10 minutes. They go ahead and be like, in 10 minutes, you can just do that? Yes, you can. Then you go ahead for club and lounge. The fear long back queues and unrecorded drink sales. The opening hook here will be, what if customers ordered from their table with a QR code and paid on the spot? That's the hook. They go ahead and then start the conversation with you. Now, word for word. So this particular one is word for word. We're not really going to go through this. After this particular session, you're going to have this particular the presentation slide available in the Dine Folio website. I shared it earlier, asking you guys to reserve your seat. All right. So one of the things that we need to do right now, okay, which I forgot to mention. Okay, yes. You guys are going to give me some time. All right. So we are wrapping up real quickly. So we're wrapping up real quickly. The session was going to be roughly like 2 hours. So we are closing very soon. But before we close, all right, we need to take attendance. All right. I think I should have done this at the beginning, but then I wasn't able to. Get it real quickly. Let me go ahead and see here. Masterclass. Peter, I don't know. Do you have access to the let me just bring you to the stage real quickly. Do you have access to the attendance? Yeah, so I think we'll just share it here and a couple of persons can just fill it up. Let me see. So I have here. Okay, so I
Oh,
think I've seen the link. I think I've seen
you
the link, but then
can you send it to me on WhatsApp or something? I can just,
yes, I'm gonna
or you
drop it
put,
for you. Let me just quickly paste it here at once, right? Let me
okay,
paste it here
post
at
it,
once.
press it here, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm dropping the link now on the comment section. So what is required is you just need to, because I think that didn't copy very well. Let me try to get it again. Copy. So and then paste it here. 1 second. Let me see if I got it right. Okay, yeah. So this is it. So I've dropped the link in the comment section. So this is it. Let me 1 second, please. Let me just quickly generate the pin you can use to mark attendance. Where do we have that? Okay, so so label this. This is just gonna be MOS D1. Okay, copy. Okay, expires in 6 hours. Okay. Allow. Okay, so I have created the code. All right, it needs a code actually. So this is the code. So you just use this. Uh, yes, you just use this to mark attendance. So please go ahead and just use this to mark attendance. You follow that particular link, and then you will see where to mark attendance. Since it wasn't shared on time, most persons have already dropped off the call. Peter, can you please help me drop the link on the WhatsApp community, and then ask them to fill it if you know you attended the 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 class and then you dropped off. So just click the link to to mark your attendance, because without this you won't be able to get the certificate of attendance and other benefits that comes with this particular masterclass. All right, so it will require you to put the pin here. So I've already also pasted the pin here. This is the pin MOSVU3XX. It's case sensitive. All right, so let me just wrap up my presentation, and then we can take questions, and then call it a day. All right, so 1 second. Let me take off Peter. Uh-oh. Bring this back. This. Okay. All right. So let's bring it to a close. Right. This is the Dynefolio 2-minute script, which will be provided to you on the same masterclass link that I shared. So now this is the last part. All right. Handling objections. Every no is just a hidden question in disguise. So when you hear a customer or a potential customer that you're trying to sell to say something like, it's too expensive, the hidden question is, expensive compared to what? What are they currently using as an alternative? 1 month of on-track losses. All right. So you can go ahead and then play with psychology here. Alfred is going to teach us more about psychology tomorrow. I think tomorrow, Wednesday. All right. So expensive compared to what? Ask them the question. Expensive compared to what? 1 month of on-track losses. Dynefolio pays for itself in the first week. All right. Then they have another question like, I'll think about it. All right. And then here, of course, what specifically do you want to think about? Maybe I can answer it right now. Find a real objection. Don't always allow a customer to just sideline you with the question, I'll think about it. All right. So now we have this other part that says, I don't have time to learn how to use a new software. So we have AI sets everything up in minutes. I can have your digital menu live before I leave this room. All right. Then the next question could be, I am not sure my customers will use it. Now, what every no means is this thing that is happening here. The no could mean it's too expensive. The no could mean I'll think about it. The no could mean I don't have time to learn a new software. The no could mean I'm not sure my customers will use it. The no could mean I already have a system. So for this part here, I'm not sure my customers could use it. You could say 90% of your customers already use QR codes. It's familiar. And you get a website too. That's free marketing. All right. Then this other part, I already have a system. That's great. What systems track staff level theft across your production processes? Ask them. Most systems don't. Dynefolio does. All right. So this is how you can handle objections, by identifying all the hidden questions which disguise themselves as no from your potential customer. So always be closing. All right. This is the close. Always be closing, not aggressively, but intentionally. There's assumptive close is this. Great. Shall I set you up on the monthly or annual plan? The closing is very important. Don't leave it out. Don't leave it out. The end of it is, you need this person to use the software. You need this person to pay money. All right. You need this person to buy that land. Let's say most of you here are into real estate. You need this person to hire you to build a software for them, a website, hire you to build a flyer for them. All right. So then you assume yes and move past it. All right. Great. Shall I set up on the monthly or annual plan? You assume yes and move past it. Then the urgency clues. We have three slots left for vendors this month who get priority visibility across our 10,000 person food community. So you create urgency. Then the third one here is the trial clues. Would it be okay if I set up your free menu right now? No objection, so you can see exactly how it works. All right. Then the silent clues. After you ask for the sale, say nothing. Silence is discomfort. Let them sit it in. All right, sit in it. The first person to speak loses. This is a very important part. Then the referral clues. If this works for you, would you be willing to introduce me to two other restaurants owners that you know? All right. So when you sell and you've closed it, go ahead and see how you can increase the lifetime value, the LTV of your customers. Then the next one here is the 10 rules every great seller lives by. Listen twice as much as you speak. God gave you 2 ears and one mouth for a reason. All right. So listen twice as much as you speak. Then follow up relentlessly. 80% of sales happen between the 5th and the 12th contact. So you shouldn't give up after 2 attempts, 3 attempts, 4 attempts. I can remember the number of times I had to keep going to Harvard restaurants to just get them to use the software. It took me a whole lot of time. So follow up relentlessly. 80% of sales happen between the 5th and 12th contact. All right. Rejection is data, not failure. Each no teaches you how to get the next yes. All right. Because when they say no, if you make all your assumptions that from what we talked about here, and then it doesn't look like that, you can ask them, why are they really saying no? And then they can go ahead and open up to you and tell you their main reason. So your energy is your most powerful sales tool. Bring fire. Confidence is contagious. Guys, I won't lie, I'm very exhausted, right? So I had like a very long day, but then I had to show you so much of confidence. I had to bring in so much fire because I need you to learn, right? I basically just walked into the house few minutes, roughly about 5 minutes before the class started. I drove back in. I had to set up the whole session and then start teaching. You couldn't even tell that I was exhausted. Well, maybe it's written on my face. All right. So, but I had to show you so much of confidence because I needed to learn. I'm selling this to you actually. So now the next here is stories tell, statistics support. All right. Always lead with a story, back it with facts. Very important. Now, never lead with a price, lead with pain and value. Price, the last thing you should mention. The very last thing you should mention. People don't buy products. They buy who they become when they use your product. So how are they going to feel when they use your product? That's what you should sell the most. That's why they are buying from you. Sell with questions, not statements. Questions creates discovery. Discovery creates desire. Then know your numbers code. All right. Know your numbers code. Now, for instance, the 165 millionaire was made in March by the vendors they use Dynefolio. So it's called vendor revenue. All right. Then you can go ahead and talk about 3,000 naira per month and 500,000 naira per month earning potential, which is the possibility of you making so much money by allowing us to run ads on your digital menu. Then the last part here is sharks are born swimming. You don't wait for the perfect moment, you create it. Sharks are born swimming basically means that those who are hungry for success come out with predatory instincts to achieve all that they desire. You have to learn to be a shark and you have to sell every single moment. I hope that you've learned a whole lot from this session. And then the last page here is knowledge without action is just entertainment. Here's what you will do this week. You have to practice the 2 minutes Dynefolio script out loud 20 times, record yourself, watch it back, fix your delivery, walk into 3 restaurants, cafes. We'll talk about this particular stuff in detail tomorrow. All right. This particular part is going to be something we'll talk about in detail tomorrow. Okay. So then I think this is the end of my presentation. Like I said earlier, sharks are born swimming, and it means that those who are hungry for success come out with predatory instincts to achieve all that they desire. Be a shark. You now know what the world's greatest sellers know. Jacob saw the future, Branson saw the dream, Jesus sold salvation, Belfort did not sell pens. Now it's your turn. Go sell your first Dynefolio vendor. We'll talk about this more. Close the deal, change your life. Now, it's not just about Dynefolio, right? So go sell that piece of land. If at all you're into real estate, go sell that software. Go sell that skill on Upwork. Go sell that skill on LinkedIn. It is time for you to sell. So we're going to talk more about, sales in our subsequent class, which is going to happen tomorrow. So this is the point where you can, ask questions and then get some answers. We have a very short time to take questions, but then you can go ahead and just answer it. One of the things that I asked earlier is that please, as a contribution to what we're doing here, just hit the subscribe button to subscribe to this YouTube channel, subscribe to our channel, and then like this video as well. Drop comments, and then of course, we're gonna respond to them. Thank you very much for your attention. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much. So this is where we take, you know, questions. We're gonna take questions at this particular point. So if you have questions, let me know in the comment section. So this is where we are. We had a brief session. Well, that was not really brief. That was like 1 hour 30 minutes. We started late. So let me know what your questions are. So at this point, I'm going to bring Peter to moderate the Q&A session while I just rest up a bit.
Oh wow, oh wow. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. Please, if you know you had a wonderful time, let me know in the comment section. Just let me know. You can type yes. You can give us a fire emoji, whatever way you can use to express yourself that you had a wonderful time tonight. Just do that. And while you are doing that, you're going to see a comment from myself. You're going to see me write Q and your question. That is how you should present your question. Just type Q in front and then write your question. If you have any questions so far, if you need clarity on anything, just let us know. And then just let me know how you feel about today's class. If you learned anything, let me know in the comment section. And then if you have questions, let me know as well. So that we wrap up and then most of us go to bed. And the night crawlers go back to work.
So I have one thing to say while we are waiting for the questions to start rolling in. So I just saw in the comment section that we had some persons having some difficulty with you know, filling in their attendance. So let me see. Let me just
Is it
share my
possible to
screen.
share your screen? Yes, yes.
Yes. That's what I want to do. I want to share my screen. So I'm gonna share my screen real quick. So I'm sharing my entire screen. So please let me know when you can see my screen. Peter, please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes,
Peter,
yes, you can.
you can see my screen? Okay, so this is the page where you get to like fill in your you know, mark attendance. So if you scroll down here, all right, you will see it's gonna look a bit different on mobile, but you're supposed to see something like this: register, attendance, slides, and certificates. So for these slides, this particular information will be provided, you know, later, right? So we're gonna put in some documents here, like the slide for this particular presentation that I made. You'll see it here. You just need to put your email, but first you have to register. You have to reserve your seat. You have to fill in your details here, every single thing that you have here. Then you register. Once you've done that, you can now go ahead and mark attendance. All you just need to do is put your email here. You have to register first. Then you put your email here, and then you go ahead and then put in the code, that I already shared, MOS VU. I can't really remember what the full thing is. So, but then you put in the code here. It will be shared again. So you put your email here. All right. Then you put the code here, and then you've signed up. All right. That's basically how it works. I hope that you understand. Then you click on mark attendance, and then we'll get a recording in our end.
Okay, while you're doing that, our first question came in by Flora IE. Hope I got your name right. So are there book recommendations on sales closing?
Okay. So the question here is, okay, no, this is not the question. Where is the question? Okay, I've seen the question. So are they book recommendations on sales closing? Okay, so I think this particular one will be provided by Alfred. Alfred reads a lot. Yeah, so and then he's gonna be talking about psychology. So he will make a lot of book recommendation. In fact, Alfred one time was a book vendor. Yeah, so before he traveled to the United States, so he's going to like talk more about the different books. He's in his sessions, he's gonna like recommend a lot of books for you guys on sales. But for me, if you ask me, it might not be a direct book on sales, but it's one of the most powerful books on sales that I could recommend. It's the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Sorry, Robert Hooke is the scientist. Bless his soul. Yeah. So Robert Greene, right? So the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, the Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. It's also a very powerful book on sales. Then we have The Art of War by Sun Tzu. All right, these are all sales books. It's not really gonna show you uh like those things. It talks about psychology and psychology sales. Alfred is gonna talk more about that in his session, while Peter will talk more about visibility in his session. So I think that's how I could respond to this question.
So another good book you should look out for is The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini.
Perfect. That's a
That
nice
book is
suggestion,
very
actually.
very good on influence as well. And then how to win friends and influence people, right? Is another good book.
How
The
to
thing
how to
about
win how to win friends
and
and
influence
influence
people,
people. That's
yeah,
true.
is another good book. The thing about books on sales is that I think my rule of law is if the topic is really focused on sales, it's not really a good book on sales because sales alone is not is not the entirety of the whole idea. You have to understand psychology, influence, communication, and a lot of things. So you look for books that are related to psychology
And strategy,
and strategy, like the one he mentioned, The Act of War. You need to read
persuasion.
that book. You just need to read that book. It's going to help you a lot. And then I'm going to share with you 3 YouTube videos you can watch. I came across a content on Instagram, and the guy shared about 3 videos he watched recently that helps him with sales. It's going to help you with sales. It's going to help you how to follow up with customers because one of the things we are going to talk about is visibility and how it's very, very important to sales. But a part of it is how to follow up with people because it's very important. You're not going to sell to people the first time you talk to them unless you put something for your mouth.
So
You need
so we
to be
have a
able to follow up with people.
yes.
Okay, this is another question. Does strategy apply only to digital products or also to physical products?
Okay, so
Please
quick
go
question.
first.
Yeah, so quick question actually. Off of phone, no, no. Thank you very much for your question. Everything that we taught today can be applied to every area of life. All right, every area. The reason why there is a focus is because we are automatically trying to train you on how to, become a sales expert for our technology product called Dynefolio and Rivaria. All right. So that's why we are really laying emphasis on, Dynefolio and all of that. But even if you're in real estate, you're selling lands, you're selling houses, you're selling cars, you're selling electronics, you're selling phones, whatever you're selling, even services, right? Home cleaning services and all of that, you can still apply the same, concept, the same strategy, and you get, equal results. So I
So
think we don't
yeah,
have,
everything is connected to everything, right?
yes.
Sales is not just about digital products, physical products. Even you bargaining at the market to get meat is you selling yourselves. Why that
Obviously,
butcher has to give you a better price for what you're trying to buy. So everything in this world is connected to sales.
a
No
lot of
matter how
times
you want to look at it, everything is connected to sales. So
a
we
lot of
have
times
another
when
question.
Yeah, a lot of times when I want to buy suya from the bookieman, I always try to speak a little of Hausa. I'll just like, speak very little, just the greetings. And then when I'm even leaving, I'll still say, I'll tell them thank you, and then say gobe, say recipe and all of that. Nagudi and different words like that, just to make them comfortable, win their trust and all of that. So we have another question. Yeah. So the question here is, at what point should we leave a client? I'm asking because there's this client in the real estate space that I have been trying to close, but after several contacts, it seemed like I am overpressing. So this is where you get to do your research, right? So this is where you get to do your research and be like, why is this customer saying no? Is it because they don't trust me? Is it because they don't have the money? Is it because the size of the land is not what they want? You have to figure out you have to exhaust all the possible questions, and then after you're done with that, you don't have to overpress. You can just go ahead and then just get the client's number. Ensure the client saves your phone number so that they can see your WhatsApp status. All right. And then you just keep on doing your thing. One day you're going to sell, you're going to make a sale. Does it mean that you had stopped selling? No, you didn't. You just allowed time to pass by and you kept on posting on your WhatsApp status, on your social media to remind this person that, okay, you exist. And one day they will have the exact need for your service or your product, and then you make a sale.
Okay, Uncle Godson, just to add to that. Now, there are so many variables involved in your question, right? So I'm going to come from this point of view. You cannot sell to everybody, right? That's why I like what Mr. Davis said. You don't need to overpraise. If you are trying to convince someone to buy a product for you or a service from you, you're actually trying to sell them what they don't need. So if someone needs your product, if someone finds a need for your product and you've given them a better offer and you're consistently making sure they see whatever you're selling, they're definitely going to buy from you, right? So if you get to a point that you have to oversell and overpraise, you're going to lose the clients. So another thing is that sales is a game of numbers. So if you are telling, your question is telling me that you're not generating what we call enough leads for whatever you are selling. Because if you are wasting a lot of time on a client, it means you're also trying to let them know that unless they are closing a deal worth 200 to 500 million, right? It's okay to stay on them because the buying cycle is long. But you need to generate enough leads so that you don't over dependent you don't over depend on a client to close that client. So that's another thing you need to have in mind.
All right. Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you. I think we have exhausted our time totally. Right. So
Wow.
I think we don't have much again. Someone said here that the psychology of sales is a good one. Okay, so someone mentioned they can't mark attendance. Oh, okay. You'll be further assisted in the WhatsApp community. So if at all you're not part of the WhatsApp, please just try and check the description under this particular video. You will see a link to the WhatsApp group. So then we have thank you, sir. This will be of great help to my business. You're welcome. Thank you, sir, about the video hook. You do know how to get your audience hooked by the Bibo dialect. All right. Thank you. Um, YouTube videos to watch. So we'll make these recommendations on the WhatsApp community. So it's gonna be a community for all of us. It's not something that after the masterclass you run away. It's gonna be like a continuous community actually. So then we have okay, as Sarah Brown said, sells a number of is a game of numbers, and UB people, thank you very much also. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for being part of our day 105 of the masterclass on sales. Peter, thank you so much for moderating and being part of this. We're looking forward to your session. I think your session is tomorrow, right?
Next
Peter,
tomorrow.
next tomorrow. Okay, so your session is
Yeah.
on Wednesday. So Peter is going to be talking about visibility on Wednesday. So you're going to ensure you don't miss out on that. More information about that particular presentation will be made available on the WhatsApp group. So by tomorrow, Alfred will be teaching us, what is it teaching us? It's going to be teaching us. So my brain is overcrowded right now. So Peter, what did Alfred say he's going to teach? Uh, Alfred.
Psychology of sales.
Okay, yeah. He said psychology of sales. Yeah, I have been presenting for so long, so my brain is frozen. Yeah, thank you so
No
much. So
wahala.
Alfred is going to be teaching psychology of sales, right? And then I think tomorrow I will also chip a thing or two about maybe not tomorrow, but let's just see how it goes. Like I wanted to really talk about hypnotism in sales, and then the persuasion, right? Yeah, so persuasion. So I think that's about it. Thank you so much, everyone. So I'm just gonna flag your comments here. Tomorrow would be Tuesday. Tomorrow would be Tuesday night share. Okay.
Yes, tomorrow is Tuesday.
I said Wednesday. So sorry guys. So thanks so much for the class. Thank you too for attending. You can invite more persons to join the WhatsApp group because we need more people to attend this class. Remember to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel too. Thank you very much. I think it was a price objection. Okay, Uncle Godson said it was a price objection. So you can figure out a way to give the person a better offer. They can, you can tell them to pay small across 12 months and all of that. All right. So thank you very much to everyone. Have a lovely night rest or have a lovely day wherever you're joining from. And it's bye from me. Thank you very much, Peter.
Thank you. Take care. Good night, everyone.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.